So maybe some of this nonsense in Los Angeles makes a little bit more sense when you remember who's in charge in California. This week, Gavin Newsom was asked what he's doing to confront the fentanyl crisis. Take a listen to what the governor had to say.
Hey, Gavin, tell me what you're going to do about the fentanyl epidemic. Please, my name is J.J. Smith.
What should I do,
And I want to know
what do you want?
What you going to do about the fentanyl epidemic.
You can tell me what we need to do. That's why I'm here.
San Bernardino Police Chief Darren Goodman did not mince words, tweeting his disgust over the exchange and calling out Gavin Newsom's smug attitude. And the chief joins me right now. Chief, you're a straight shooter. I can tell just by your tweets out there. What is your message to the governor?
Well, the message to the governor is the same as it would be to my community. We need to solve problems, and we should have a plan to do so. If I answered a question from my community the way that he did, I think that I would probably be in a lot of hot water, to say the least. We need help. And right now we're not getting much help from our legislators. In fact, it's just the opposite. A lot of the things that they're proposing or enacting are tying our hands. And you're seeing that with law enforcement across the country.
Chief, can you paint the picture for our audience? A lot of them don't wear the badge. When you go out to the scene and you're seeing the homeless defecating in the middle of the street, you see people actively with needles in them, selling drugs on the street, robbing. We have already reported on the bill that says that, you can just rob a store as long as it's less than $950. How is that like, as an officer, to police that type of criminal activity?
Well, it's devastating, and for a variety of reasons. One is because we understand, homelessness is a tragedy. It's not something that in and of itself should be criminalized. But there's a flip side to that, and that means that we have to consider those people who haven't made mistakes in their lives, the business owners who've done everything that they possibly could to own and operate a business, to serve others, to provide jobs to people in our community, and those homeowners who want to be able to enjoy parks, take their kids down the sidewalk without encountering some of this decay, and as public leaders, we have to consider the fact that we're allowing people to simply rot in their skin on our sidewalks, and that's not acceptable. One of the things that I do know we should consider is the fact that many of these people are mentally ill, and many of these people, perhaps more of them, are devastatingly addicted to drugs. So you can't expect someone who's mentally ill or in the throes of addiction to make a rational decision on coming off of the streets. Our laws need to keep up with the current environment, and that means that we have to consider imposing, at least mandates on some of these people who can't make decisions for themselves.
It's so true, Chief. It's clear that America is in peril here. Do you believe, because the picture that they paint is that the public doesn't have you guys back, law enforcement. Do you believe you have the support of the public?
I really think the vast majority of the public does support us. And I think that, many of the members of the public who don't either are, focused on some of those mistakes that we have made in our industry. And I'll say flat-footedly that there have been some mistakes. Mm-hmm. But right now, our legislation, or our legislators rather, they're not focused on police reform. They're focused on police punishment. What they're doing is punishing the communities that we serve in an effort to take away our ability to actually do our job. For example, there's proposed legislation right now as we speak in California that would actually take away police canines. It would take away our ability to stop a vehicle for a low-level traffic violation. And I'll stop right there for just a second and say that the majority of the drugs and guns that we seize off our streets are found in vehicles.
Yeah.
Every single crime that occurs has a vehicle component to it. Either the suspect arose in a vehicle, he escaped in a vehicle, he transported guns and drugs in a vehicle, and in many cases, there's bodies being transported or human trafficked in vehicles. So if you take away the ability for us to do low-level traffic stops as a means of further investigating what may be going on in that vehicle, not only will many, many more crimes go unsolved, but people will die.
You're spot on, Chief. As someone that's with law enforcement every single day, especially with the K-9 units, I can attest to what you're saying. Thanks so much for joining the program.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.